have a bone to pick a little bit with like this rhetoric of like, if a woman doesn't bring X amount of money, then she doesn't qualify for this kind of man. And I think we need to like publicly call it out for what it is. It's eliminating competition, right? Because men have like time and time again have exhausted themselves telling women we don't care if or how much money you bring to the table, right? Like men have literally, they're so tired of saying it that most of them just stop saying it. It's women that continue this rhetoric. It's women that are always saying, well, if you can't meet him halfway, then like you don't qualify for this man. I think we just need to X the conversation. Just say that like you're not equipped to take on the competition of what the dating market looks like. The fact that there are now like this man has access, the man you want has access to every woman, and you're looking for a very specific kind of man. So you don't like your market is very limited. I think it's so weird to tell women, for women to tell women, right? If you don't make enough money, you don't qualify for this man. So I just wanted to like call that part of the conversation out.
On facts.
All facts.
I feel like I'm
Damn.
missing something. Are you saying that women shouldn't say that they have to make a certain amount of money to be with a certain kind of guy? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Because
I don't hear that too often.
so I think it's like it's nuanced, right? Like the girl in the video was essentially saying, like, if y'all can't run the bag together, then like understand that that man is not for you, kind of thing, right? She was basically saying like these broke girls can't shouldn't have access to men like that. And I think that's ridiculous because if she understands how to manage money, if she is the type of woman that man is looking for, he's still gonna pick her over the girl who makes just as much as him.
That's
Because
true.
right, because men have always stated very clearly in the majority, again, not all of them, like we don't care how much a woman makes. Right. And so if men are constantly saying this, who are we as women to then be like, but we're gonna say you can't do this? I think that it's wild. It's trying to diminish the competition so that you have a competitive edge. And it's really catty.
But do you ever feel like go ahead, Cam. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say I think that a lot of women have like a confusion between like the income that they bring versus like the class of woman that these men are attracted to. So I think that's where the confusion is. Is like I don't think it's more so the income of the woman. I think it's more so the class and how she presents herself. And I think that for some reason it seems like synonymous that a woman with a lower income might not present herself as classy as a woman with a higher income, or something like that. But I think that it's more so that these men are looking for women with class and not more so, a woman with, whatever paycheck that women feel like, would get you in the door with those type of men.
But is it safe to say that some women just want a certain caliber guy to pull her out the trenches? I'm serious. Like some women don't even qualify for the type of guy that they want. And
Yeah,
then
no, that's
you know what I
true.
mean? So
That's
that's my
just
only thing. Like if you can pull it, then
yeah.
great. But some women that, talk certain kind of ways, like, I mean, you really think it's gonna be you who gets picked? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. I mean,
you just
that's
have
like
to know what
kind
you
of
qualify for.
yeah, and that's kind of equivalent to the women who have children and they say like, "Oh, I don't want to, be with a man that have kids." And it's like, "But you have
I've
kids?"
heard that before too, and that's wild to me.
That's
I'd be like,
wild. Yeah. I'm like,
what?
"Come on
I
now."
definitely think that goes on with like dating on your level. I think a lot of women have that confused too. Like if you have children, personally, I think that you should be dating someone with children because I personally don't have children, so I'm not going to put myself in a position to date someone with children. Me personally, just because I don't
Yeah.
want to put myself in a position that I know is either going to be a co-parent or I'm going to be a step parent, just for me personally. But I know there are some people that do that, and I think that's great. But just me personally, I can't see myself being a step parent or a co-parent with someone. So I don't want to put myself in a position or even, open myself up to a relationship with a man that has a child, bond with that child, and then, things not work out. So I think that women, that's a part of dating on your level is possibly either if you want children or you're okay with co-parenting or, you have children, you need to be with somebody that also too has kids.
I have a question for you, Cam, when you just said that. So would it make a difference? Just curious. If this man was a 7-figure man, divorced man, one child. Does that make a difference? Look at Mike's face, first of all.
I mean,
he waiting for you to lie.
I personally, again, I don't want to be in a position to co-parent or step parent. So I don't want to be with a man with children, but that is me. But again, you know, if the kid is out the house or something like that, maybe I would think about it. But just thinking about my internal, like my standards, I can't be with a man with kids.
He calling you out. Mike's saying you cap.
We can't go no further.
I don't have no kids. So I can't.
We can't go no further till we get past this right here.
I mean,
I'll take
ladies,
I'll take them.
It's not that we're being arrogant as men, but I gotta let y'all know. I gotta let y'all in on a little secret. We do this thing where we play a game about all the girls that we've gotten that said they would never date us, they would never do something with us, and it's hilarious. It's almost like a part of a challenge. Listen, when a man, especially a dude with money like that, so I got a lot of friends that, you know, really just got money, right? Like I said, a lot of guys out here working oil and gas. There are children here in Houston. There are children of Nigerian oil millionaires and stuff like that. That when they get their first Bentley or Bentley GT, the way they pull up on that girl that said they wouldn't date them. If I can only tell you, you've seen the videos, okay? Well, wait, what was your name again? Olu? What was it? Listen, it's in you to get broken down by that car. It's in you to get broken down by that pomp and circumstance, all right? You're not going to hold it together, okay? Well, I go on one date with them, and the next thing you know, your belly is popped out. Look, I know you say you won't do it, but I'm calling cap. If you think she capping, put a one in the chat. She won't date a millionaire.
No, because they all think but I just want my first kid to be your first kid. I want to be married with the man that I have my first child with. That's just.
And I want world peace.
I hear what you're saying, Cam. But I think that, so here's the thing. I think that there's a threshold, right? If that guy is everything you're looking for, he's kind, he's generous, he's thoughtful, he's protective, he's literally like your dream guy, and he has this stuff, the likelihood of you choosing him is still pretty high, right? And I think that's where men righteously call cap, right? Because women will make concessions based on like the value that they perceive in that man. Yes, you want to be Mike is trolling tonight. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with saying that you would make a concession if this was like your perfect person and he came with a child and was divorced. I think that like if I'm honest, I used to be apprehensive about like what I would concede on, because then I was worried that like all of my concessions would come forward and be like, I'm your perfect person. That in reality, like there's still safeguards by having other men to vet, by like standing on your morals and laurels and all of this stuff, right? So I think it's okay to admit like the concessions you're willing to make.
Yeah, I also want to say too, to balance this question, like I would have to ask, is that man willing to marry me? Because I want marriage. And so I think that if he's divorced and I want, you know, an older man, I would assume that a divorced older man wouldn't want to get married again if he's with me, you know? So I think that's something that I would have to take into consideration too, is that I want to be married, you know? So if I was to make that concession, it would have to be that, and I wouldn't think that a 7-figure older man would want to get married again, especially to, you know, somebody in their 20s. So that would
and Cam, I will also say, you look pretty young, I guess. So you look pretty young. What I can tell you from experience is that cross that 30s threshold, and your opinion, it's gonna change. It's gonna change. I have
I don't plan on being on the market past 25. So
God damn, how old? You see? Never mind. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now.